welcome to all my dear Gulf students. So today I, Ayushi Agarwal, once again welcome you on this amazing platform where we are doing the ultimate recap of different chapters. And today the chapter which I chose is Organism and Population. Very, very easy chapter. We have already entered into ecology, rather I should say. Now just 4 chapters more are to go. One is Organism and Population, followed by ecosystem, then biodiversity and conservation, and the last and the very easy peasy chapter is environmental issues. Correct? So what are we waiting for? Let's directly start with the discussion of ultimate recap of organism and population chapter. Okay? So complete revision we are going to do over here. And first over here I would like to discuss the term ecology, because it is the first chapter of ecology, and so you should be aware of that what does ecology means. So what is ecology? Ecology is the branch of science that deals with the study of interaction between biotic and abiotic component, right? So it is the study that deals with the interaction between between biotic and abiotic factors, right? Biotic beta means living organisms, living beings, be it plants, animals, microbes, all are considered as a part of biotic component. Abiotic means non-living component. So basically here we are going to talk about temperature, water, soil. So these are the abiotic factors which are equivalently making your life on earth easy. Can you imagine your life without temperature, without sun, without light, without water, without soil? No. Imagine if earth would have been only having living beings. How we would have survived without these abiotic factors? So yes, both are necessary for the survival on earth. Hence, the study of interaction between them is ecology. The basic unit of ecology is an individual, you and me, or any other species, a single member, and how is he interacting with its environment, that we are going to study in this chapter. So next point you're going to write is beta, that the basic unit of ecology is organism, and how an individual is getting affected with its surrounding, with its abiotic factor, that you have to focus in this chapter. Different organisms of same species capable of interbreeding forms population, which is the next level of hierarchy in ecology. Then after basic unit, next point, group of organism who are capable of interbreeding, right? So group of organisms capable of interbreeding and producing a fertile offspring, living together, occupying a specific area, forms the next level of ecology beta, which is called as population. So in this chapter you have to study about the details of organism, that how an organism is affected by its abiotic component and how population is affected by its abiotic component. So first we will see that how organisms individual is affected, and then we will study related to population. ठीक, पर उससे पहले before that, what are the abiotic factors that can influence one's life? That itself you should know. So now we are going to check out the different abiotic factors. Right? And the first and the most relevant one which I can recall is temperature. So it is the most relevant factor. How? Because it decides the range of distribution of organism on earth. Can you imagine surviving in an area where temperature is very high? Or can you imagine your survival in an area where temperature is extremely low? Where would you like to live? Where the temperature is neither too low nor too high. So somewhat in moderate environmental condition only you want to survive. You kya? Every organism want to survive. So in short, can I say that temperature decides the range of distribution of different organism? In extreme environmental condition, only specific organism can flourish, but in moderate climatic conditions, in moderate temperature, the population density is going to be huge, right? Because if this is favorable, then only you can survive. You all understand it? So temperature is most relevant as it decides, beta, the range of distribution of organism. One thing I can say, suppose this is my earth, you know, and the temperature is maintained by the availability of sun, right? Little bit geography if you can recall, then the sun rays are slightly vertical on the equator. This is 0 degree latitude, right? But when you go slightly away or even more away from the center, that means from 0 to higher latitude till 90 degree, north or south, the sun rays become slanting. Slanting sun rays means what, beta? Temperature low. Vertical sun rays at the equator means temperature very high, right? So this is my sun. These are the slanting rays. And this is the vertical ray. So tell me where the population will be more. Definitely not exactly at equator, but you can say that from equator towards pole, because of low temperature, because of slanting sun rays, temperature will be very, very low. In fact, you know, at poles, it's always permafrost. It's covered with ice. Can you imagine in a place living where there is 24/7 night, no sun rays, every time ice everywhere? How can you even live in such an area? Not possible, right? So can we say that latitude increases, temperature decreases, and capacity to find organism also decreases? है कि नहीं? So as beta latitude increases, temperature decreases, and range of distribution of organism also decreases. So you can say you will find more number of organism near equator as compared to poles. Correct? Yes or no? Well understood. Now, next point. But depending upon the range of tolerance, there are two types of organisms. Some organism can thrive in both high temperature and low temperature. Some can only live in high temperature or only live in low temperature. So depending upon the capacity of tolerance. So on the basis of capacity of tolerance, we have two types of organisms. Uri beta word itself means wide. Thermal means temperature, and stenothermal. ठीक? So eurythermal means what? Organism who have wide capacity to tolerate different ranges of temperature, who can live in high as well as low conditions. Steno means organism who can either live in high temperature or in low temperature. Like for example, your leopard. Leopard is only restricted to, snow leopard is only restricted to colder climate. You can't find snow leopard in warmer environment. Mango tree can only grow in your Kerala, in your Indian country, in tropical countries, but you can't grow mango in polar region. So these are the organism who can only survive in limited environmental conditions. But if I talk about we organisms, you can find organisms living in extreme environmental conditions also, be it high or be it low. So this is wide range of tolerance. And this is narrow range of tolerance. Correct? So I hope you all have done till here. Now moving towards the second important ecological factor apart from temperature is water. So we say that it is the second most influential, important abiotic factor. Why? Because like temperature is undoubtedly deciding your range of distribution. Similarly, beta, water is also playing an important role. Can you imagine your life without water? In fact, we say that when a world will have third world war after the second world war, it will be because of water. People won't get healthy water to drink. In fact, our life originated in water. Why to fight for a head situation? Go back and you will realize that water is so important that God actually started life in water. So you can say life beta originated in water, right? But still, water is not that convenient option to live. Therefore, soon plants and animals both, they decided to shift their life from water to land, and right now we are living on land with few aquatic life as well. Now, we know that 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Still, I am saying that we are going to fight third world war because of water scarcity. Why? Because not quantity, quality of water matters. Yes or no? Oceans are having water, but can you use them for drinking? Can you use them for cleaning? Can you use them for washing? Anything? No, because its quality is not good. So no doubt we are having abundant water on earth, but it's of no good quality. Hence, the fresh water which we need for our demands is less, and therefore I say that we can fight third world war for the needs of water, right? So what is the next point you're going to write over here? Water quality is equally important as quantity. Quantity to chahiye, but quality is also very, very important. And water quality beta is measured in terms of its salt concentration. Why ocean water is not good? Because in it, the amount of salt concentration is very, very high. And if you drink that water, your body will unnecessarily accumulate more amount of salt, disturbing your kidney functioning. Correct? Yes or no? So quality depends upon the amount of salt level in water which is measured in terms of parts per thousand. Correct? Now there are three values which are mentioned in your textbook. The fresh water value, the one water which you are able to drink, its amount of salt should be less than 5 ppt, then only it's suitable for drinking. The ocean water which you ignore is having 30 to 35% of ppt, means 30 to 35% in the water is salt. So high amount of salt, you want less than 5. 30-35 is too much. How will you be able to survive? Hai ki nahi? And then comes your hyper saline lagoons. They are more than even 100% saline, completely dead water, no use, right? Now, like you have done for temperature, same you can do for water also, depending upon the range of tolerance beta. So here if I check the range of tolerance, it will be urihaline, means organism who can tolerate both higher salt concentration as well as lower salt concentration, means organism who can live in both fresh water and ocean water. Stenohaline means organism who can either live in only fresh water or marine water but not both. So urihaline means same, wide range of salinity tolerance, wide range of salinity tolerance. And second is stenohaline, which is actually narrow range of salinity tolerance. Correct? Got my point? So these are certain important points which you have to remember for temperature as well as water. Now next important parameter on the basis of which the life of an organism depends is light. Light and temperature are somewhat correlated. Why? Because like you need sun for sun ray, which is maintaining the temperature, so it is also the ultimate source of light, right? Every day sun has to come, day will come. Once the sun sets, light is gone, night comes, right? So we can say ultimate source of light on earth is sun, except for deep sea ocean where the sun rays can't reach. Now again, the light quality matters but not the quantity, because sun ray is giving so many wide varieties of light ranges like infrared, UV, visible, X-ray, gamma ray. But are you able to utilize all of them? No. Plants mainly utilize light for photosynthesis, for flowering, for their movement, etc. Then we can say if sun is the ultimate source of light, then it is also the ultimate source of food. Why? Because we are depending upon plants for food either directly or indirectly, and these plants are dependent on light for photosynthesis, for manufacturing food, right? So light is very, very important. And again here beta, quality matters. Means if you provide UV ray to the plant, you'll say light to de raha hu main, let plant photosynthesize. No, it only needs red and blue region of the visible spectrum to perform photosynthesis. So here also quality matters but not the quantity. In fact, I will say some component of sun rays are very, very harmful, specifically UV rays. If you have ever heard about ozone, which is there in your stratosphere, it is responsible for trapping the harmful UV rays. But now, due to human activity, we are depleting that ozone. As a result, those UV rays are able to penetrate inside the troposphere. It is able to come in contact with the human skin, causing different types of cancerous diseases. Got my point? So what is light and why it is important? First of all, sun is the ultimate source of energy. So first point you will write over here is that beta, sun is the ultimate source of energy. First point. Second, again, light quality matters, as plants, mainly plants के लिए भाई, हमारे लिए तो sun ray directly, it's not like only vitamin D we need from sun, right? Mainly sun is important for photosynthesis. Light quality matters as plant utilizes only red and blue region of visible spectrum of sun ray. Blue region of visible spectrum of sun ray for photosynthesis. So it is very, very important. Correct? Third point. Some component of sun is harmful like UV rays. Some component of sun is even harmful. If you come in direct contact, it can cause dreadful mutations like UV spectrum. Apart from photosynthesis, beta, light is very important for seasonal breeders in order to perform reproduction in plants. Flowering is dependent upon light. Movement of the plant is dependent upon light. Right? And now, the last important factor, abiotic factor, is soil. Nothing much here we have to discuss. You all know what is soil, how it is formed. So soil is formed by the weathering of rocks. There are big rocks in the mountain which due to maybe physical reason, chemical reason or biological reason, they undergo weathering, they break down to produce simpler, finer particle called soil. Soil is very rich in nutrient. As a result, they help, they support vegetation. Apart from growing crop on the soil, you're using it for building your buildings, for urbanization, for industrialization, etc. Correct? So soil is also very important abiotic factor, and you can't imagine your life without soil. Imagine there is no soil around you. Then where will you grow your crop? Where will you build your buildings? In air or in water? No, na. So definitely you need soil to fulfill all your basic demand. So next point you will write is formed by the process called weathering of rock. Right? So how is it obtained? It is formed by the process of weathering. First point, by physical means, chemical means or biological means. It is rich in nutrient. Therefore, serves a good purpose for vegetation. Therefore, serves a good purpose for growing crop. Crop means food, food means life, life means soil. Right? Clear? So these are the different sets of abiotic factors which are playing an important life and influencing every organism at individual level. Now we are going to see, you have seen the list of abiotic factors and you also know that these abiotic factors are influencing our life, but how? And what is our response to it? So the next topic is going to be beta response to abiotic factors. Individual level beta, there's one term before I start the detailed discussion called hemostasis. Hemostasis means beta basically maintaining constant internal environmental conditions even if the external conditions are fluctuating. Like for example, if outside temperature is high but still your body temperature is maintained. If your outside temperature is low but still your body temperature is maintained. If outside water concentration is low but your body fluid level is maintained. बाहर पानी ज़्यादा है पर तुम्हारा सब कुछ सही balanced है. So, no matter whatever is the condition of abiotic factors outside, their range may be fluctuating, but inside you, no such change is going on. Your body fluid, your body temperature is absolutely constant. This capacity to maintain constant condition is known as hemostasis. And any organism capable of maintaining hemostasis can survive in any condition. be it high temperature, low temperature, high water, low water, in every situation. Correct? So what is the definition of hemostasis? Ability to maintain constant internal environmental conditions, right? So ability to maintain constant internal environmental conditions even if external, हो सकता है बाहर की condition, even if external conditions are fluctuating. Right? Yes or no? And constant internal condition means in two terms. One in terms of temperature and second in terms of water balance. So in terms of beta thermoregulation, and second is, yes, osmoregulation. ठीक, thermoregulation and osmoregulation. Clear? आगे सबको यहाँ तक समझ में? Thermoregulation and osmoregulation. If yes, then we are good to proceed further. चलो देखते हैं भाई. अब you know that this is the ability to maintain hemostasis. So organism, now there are two types of organism who are able to maintain hemostasis or who are not able to maintain. So organisms, beta, capable of showing hemostasis. Organism capable of showing hemostasis beta are called as regulator. Whereas those organisms who cannot show homeostasis, organisms without homeostasis are known as conformers. Correct? Now if I want to show this with the help of a graph, then see how would I depict it. So on y-axis I will plot the internal constant conditions and on x-axis I will plot the external conditions. Right? So there are two possibilities. One, a straight line from the origin and second straight line parallel to x-axis. So this white line means regulator and yellow line means conformer. Why? Because regulator means no matter whatever be the external conditions, no matter whatever your external conditions are fluctuating, but still your internal conditions are maintained constant. उनमें कोई भी फर्क नहीं आ रहा है. Right? Yes or no? So basically R means regulator and C means conformer. Right? So अब देखो बेटा, regulator means that whatever be the external conditions, internal conditions are always same. So graph should be straight line parallel to x-axis. Conformer means with the change in external condition, internal conditions are also changing. So straight linear line passing through the origin is for conformer. Straight line horizontal to x-axis is for regulation. So there are two types of organism. There are two basically responses. So if I talk about the response to abiotic factor, then first is regulators, but the number of regulators are very, very less, as regulation, as maintaining homeostasis is an energetically expensive phenomena. To do regulation, either thermoregulation or osmoregulation, needs lot amount of energy. Therefore, small organisms and specifically plants, they don't prefer regulation, they become conformers. Right? So regulators mainly includes all birds, mammals, and few lower vertebrate or invertebrates. Few lower vertebrate and invertebrate. Correct? Since hemostasis is energetically expensive phenomena, majority of the organism do not prefer to show regulation. Therefore, overwhelming majority is of conformers. So, more than 99% of organisms do not show beta what hemostasis नहीं दिखाते as it is an energetically expensive phenomena. As it is energetically expensive phenomena. Correct? Yes or no? Got my point, everyone? Now, then what do they do? Then in that case, they will either migrate if their conditions are not good because they can't live in such extreme environmental condition, or they suspend their activities for certain time. So, their escape is either through migration or second is either suspension of the activity, like for example, go to sleep, don't wake up, means estivation or hibernation. Clear? Right? Now we are going to discuss some adaptations of different organisms in response to their environmental conditions, in response to their, abiotic factors. First, few examples from animal and then few examples of plants also, and to see that how are they adjusted to their environmental conditions. So, first example I can remember is of kangaroo rat of North American desert. There, this rat is living in a very, less water and xerophytic condition. Desert में रह रहा है. So already there in desert, the amount of water availability is low. So how will this rat try to compensate the loss of water? By first concentrating its urine and second by synthesizing its own internal water. Outside water is not available, then prepare its own water. How? By the breakdown of fats. So it overcomes beta water scarcity. It can overcome water scarcity by two means. One, obviously concentrate urine. We also do this whenever water concentration in our body is less. So what we do, we prefer concentrating, not you, basically your kidney prefers concentrating urine and controlling the loss of water. So this is first option. Second option is synthesizes beta metabolic water by the breakdown of fats, right? So this is one of the method of conserving water and surviving. So it's an adaptation. Second example which I can recall is of seal, the animals who live in colder climate, like for example polar bear. Now what these people are doing, these polar bears are living in extreme cold conditions. बेटा बहुत ठंडी condition में रह रहे होते हैं, तो अब ये कैसे survive करेंगे? Their skin is having एक तो thick deposition of fat to avoid the loss of heat, plus their extremities, their ears and their limbs are very short. Shorter the extremities, lesser is the loss of heat, right? This is known as Allen's rule. So polar bear, in order to overcome extreme low condition temperature, to overcome, what do you say? extreme low temperature condition, their limbs, their extremities are smaller in order to avoid heat loss from them, right? So their extremities are smaller to avoid heat loss. ये heat loss नहीं करेंगे, and this is known as Allen's rule. Similarly, there are some aquatic animals like seal, right? So seal is also living in colder climate, right? So how does it overcome? Colder climatic animal. So now how will it overcome its situation? By having a thick deposition of fat below the skin. Jitna zyada fat hoga, heat loss will become more difficult, heat will be concentrated and you will be okay. So they have thick beta deposition of fat below their skin, right? So they have basically thick deposition of fat under their skin, which protects them, or which protects them from the heat loss. So see, these are certain examples of animals which I can recall. And now moving with some more plant adaptations. Let's first add a page. Plant adaptations. So now we are going to look into some examples of plant adaptation. The first and the best which I can recall is for xerophytes. Cactus. What do? Their body, their leaves are reduced to spine so that there's no loss of water in the form of transpiration, whereas the stem becomes thick, juicy, fleshy to perform photosynthesis, right? So best plant adaptation which I can recall is of xerophytes, where leaves are beta reduced to spines to avoid loss of water in the form of transpiration. And second is there, now who will perform photosynthesis? So in that case, stem performs photosynthesis, right? Yes or no? So these are certain adaptations exhibited by different sets of organisms in order to get acclimatized in their environmental condition and live peacefully. This is organismic level ecology, and now we are going to see certain points related to population as well. What is population, beta? Group of individuals occupying a given area at a specific time and capable of freely interbreeding to produce a new fertile offspring. Study of population is known as demography. What is study of population known as? It is known as demography. Now there are certain population attributes which I will discuss over here, very, very important. And then we will discuss population growth, and then we will discuss population interaction, right? In attribute, beta, some terms I will discuss, like for example, age of the population, correct? Then we will discuss population growth, then we will discuss population density, right? Yes or no? So age of individual, if I ask your age, then you will either tell, ma'am, 18 years, 19 years or whatever. But if I ask the age of your home, कि भाई तुम्हारे घर में क्या age है, then you have your grandmother, grandfather, then you have your parents, then you have your siblings who are younger to you, who are older to you. Then you can't specify in number, na? Then you have to calculate the ratio of everyone's age, and then you will tell them this is the age of my home, which is called as age pyramid. When you have to depict the age of more than one individual of the given population, then you calculate age as age pyramid, right? There are three age pyramids: pre-reproductive, there are three types of age pyramid. First is growing age pyramid. Second is stable age pyramid. And third is declining age pyramid. Growing means when the number of pre-reproductive individual, their shape is triangular. Stable means urn shape, and declining means, so this is bell shape and this is urn shape. Correct? Now there are three sets of, this is triangular shaped, this is bell shaped, and this is urn shaped. Growing means when the number of pre-reproductive, means younger ones are more in your home as compared to older ones. So I'll just draw it over here. One I will explain. Pre-reproductive individuals are those beta who are in childhood, who are still not become young enough to produce young ones. Second phase is reproductive, the adults, and then comes your post-reproductive, the old ones who are neither going to produce and rather they are going to die to decline the population. So when the number of old people are less and number of younger ones are more, so capacity of population growing is more, so this type of graph will be drawn. Stable means when both the number of pre-reproductive and reproductive are same, but post-reproductive is less. And in declining beta, what happens? The number of pre-reproductive is lesser than reproductive. Declining means घटेगी population. Stable means ना बढ़ेगी ना घटेगी. Growing means it is going to increase. Right? Now, apart from this age pyramid beta, there are some terminologies also used in order to depict the population, like for example, sex ratio. Now, individual is either male or female, but in population you can't say male or female. You have to tell the sex ratio. That is number of female is to number of males. There you have to calculate the ratio. Then individual will have a birth, but population will have a birth rate, which is also called as natality. Then mortality, also called as death rate. So individual will die, but population marti nahi hai. Population suffers death rate, which is also called as mortality. Clear? So these are certain terms which differs individual from its population. Got my point? Now next is population growth. So beta, if I talk about population growth, then it depends upon 4 factors. First is immigration, birth rate, death rate, and emigration. Immigration and birth rate are going to increase the population, but death rate and emigration are going to decrease the population. Why? Suppose this is my population. ठीक? Immigration means someone is coming inside to a given population, entering. आ रहा है तो बढ़ेगी ना. Birth rate मतलब कोई जन्म ले रहा है, so again it is going to increase. Death rate means someone is dying, so it is decreasing. Emigration means someone is moving out, जा रहा है, so decrease. So these two parameters decreases, these two parameters increases the population. So on 4 parameters beta, we can decide the population growth. Correct? Now, next terminology related to it is yes. Population density means number of individuals occupying a given area. It is denoted by symbol N. Right? So number of individuals occupying a given area forms your population density, which is denoted by symbol N. It can be counted with the help of certain parameters, like the best and the most reliable is to count the number of people. If I want to calculate the population density of India, then how will I do? We'll count the number of heads now. That will give me the total number of individuals occupying a given area, which will be called its density. But sometimes this is not a reliable method, and then you go to some different methods to calculate the density, like percentage of biomass cover, relative density, pug marks, etc. Right? Clear? And now the last topic of the chapter is beta population interaction. Right? In this you will see how two different species members are interacting to form a community. So there are basically 7 different interaction. Let's do it somewhere else. So said 7 different interaction. I will just tell you by their name and one example for each. So first interaction which I can recall is mutualism. Mutualism means where both the interacting species are getting the equal benefit, and if one gets eliminated from the population, then other will automatically get eliminated. The example is lichens and mycorrhiza, right? Then second after mutualism is commensalism. Means one species in the presence of another is getting the benefit, but the other one is completely neutral. है तो कोई बात नहीं, नहीं है तो भी कोई बात नहीं, affect नहीं है. Third is predation, means eating, normally food chain. So here the organism who is getting fed is negative and the organism who feeds is positive. So one species negative, one species positive. Fourth, parasitism means what? When one species is dependent upon the another species which is called as host for food and nutrition. So the parasite is positive and the host is negative, right? Fifth, competition. Both are at loss. It's a most negative interaction which every species tries to avoid, as over here none of the interacting species is getting the benefit. Maybe one win and maybe the other lose even, but the winner is not a complete winner because he has to also lose something in that competition, something in that fight, right? Next, and the last is amensalism. It is basically beta minus 0, neutral. Why? Because one species is in the presence of the another is getting harmed, but the another is completely unaware about it, neutral. Right? Yes or no? So these are the different population interactions, and with this we come to the simple end of this ultimate recap. I hope you all have understood. Once go through the NCERT or textbook, things will become more clear. Thank you for watching me. See you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye everyone. Take care.